most mainstream treatment fail to recognize the need for a healing community. Somehow they put all the responsibility on the individual. Okay? On the individual. You must do this, you must take responsibility for your life, for your future. But if we believe what Bruce Alexander is saying, recovery requires a supporting healing community. Like the AA fellowship. AA work because of AA fellowship. So that is community. But in our hospitals, in our treatment centers, we also need to develop a healing community that will contribute to healing with self-physicians, with self-psychiatrists, with self-psychologists. The environment itself can be either toxic to make you sick, or the environment can make you well. You need a healing community to make you well. Okay. Now I said that too much abstinence and not enough emphasis on fulfillment, same as Ken Hart's statement, there's too much emphasis on abstinence, not enough on sobriety. We're saying the same thing but using different terms. Because if you only focus on abstinence, you're doomed to failure. That's why the revolving door syndrome, right? Because you aim too low. Because you think recovery, you get away from drugs, that's all you want to do. But that's negative. That's negative psychology. Okay? What you need to do is to focus on the positive, on the restoration of fullness of life, on fulfillment of life. Focus on the positive side, that will take care of abstinence automatically. Because you know why? Because you find something way better than drugs. What do you want to bother with drugs, all right? But you focus on drugs, abstinence. You have no replacement, no substitute, no purpose, no meaning, and no hope. If that you have, you can never get away from it. So there's a Chinese saying that when you go upstreams, okay, you have to keep on going upstreams. Otherwise, you go downstream. So you cannot say stand still. So there has to be always an upward movement. You need an upward movement and towards growth, towards maturation, and towards spiritual maturity, and towards personal growth, personal development, to become a better person. When you have this upward movement, and then it's easier to take care of the addiction problem. The final critique is that at present, most of the treatments in the addiction field are monoculture, ethnic-centric, based on American positive psychology, based on Silliman, based on who else? No, American. American imperialism is very much alive in psychology. Americans' attempt to colonize the world is very much alive in psychology. They don't like me because of that. I criticize them, I criticize them. I just wrote a book. You take a look. I just wrote a book on stress and coping, okay? I said, American psychology focuses on situational solution, okay? Never talk about transformation. So I emphasize transformation, criticize American psychology, they don't like it. So recently, my book was reviewed in APA review. So that woman said, oh, I go too much the other way. I bring too much Oriental psychology. Well, that's pure nonsense. I'm going to write a rebuttal. Okay? And she got upset because I criticized American psychology. Hey, oh, you talk about acceptance. Oh, America has acceptance too. You talk about endurance. Oh, we have it too. She's attacking a straw man. I'm not saying American psychology is no good. I'm saying that it needs to be complemented by psychology from Aboriginals, psychology from Orient. There's a lot of wisdom in other countries. America has no monopoly on psychology. Ken Hart's, remember that, okay? Not just Seligman, okay? and I had Paul Wong as well, okay? And the other Orientals, and they are also smart. They allow the Lao Tzu, there's Buddha psychology, a lot of wisdom in Oriental psychology, lots of wisdom in operational psychology. I've been fighting a lonely battle with an American psychologist, when Seligman see Paul Wong come in, he ran. I corner him and debate him. He will not debate me. I'll debate him anytime. Tell him I'll debate him anytime. Okay, so take a look at the book, okay? Depending on different ways of how to transform yourself, transform the situation, transform the problem as a way of coping. Not just domination over the situation. American people, domination. Domination over the environment, domination over people, domination over the situation. You can dominate, then you win. But that's not a solution. Right? They create conflict. Look what happened in Iraq, in Middle East. Domination is not a solution, okay? Okay, now what is the meaning-centered approach, okay? Now this is tough, I have a manual, just $5 to cover the cost, okay? Give you a much detailed explanation. That's a tool, like much detail. But here I just give you a brief explanation. First of all, you consider quest for meaning as the primary human motivation, and that's what Frankl said, right? What the primary motivation, not just for power, not just for sex, but also for meaning. Secondly, we need to understand cognitive meaning versus existential meaning. Cognitive meaning dealing with understanding. Existential meaning dealing with purpose. Okay? They're two different things. Now, we need to achieve a deeper understanding. There are always levels of understanding. Things often are not what they appear to be, right? Things are not what they appear to be. Okay. For example, when a Zen Buddhist see a garbage, they'll say, oh, beautiful garbage. Oh, beautiful garbage. You know why? They see the garbage as a fertilizer to produce beautiful flowers. They see deeper, right? Garbage is more than garbage. Garbage is fertilizer that can transform something into beautiful. You see, the key is how to learn to see things deeper and farther, okay? And you need to answer the big questions. The big questions have to do with existential meaning. The big question is why, who am I, why I'm here, what am I doing, where am I going? So the big questions require different kind of constant skills. Now you have heard about micro constant skill, right? Micro, M-I-C-R-O, micro. Micro constant skills deal with cognitive dysfunctioning, deal with coping with situation. But macro, M-A-C-R-O, macro, dealing with issues that are relevant to human condition, human existence. To answer those big questions, you need micro constant skills, like the skill of life review, our phototherapy, reconstruction your life, okay, and reauthor your life. So those skills are dealing with the human condition, the human existence. It's not just a situational thing. So we need to learn to see deeply and clearly. Now, the need for double loop learning. Now, what is double loop? What is single loop learning? You're learning that I drink a cup of water. You see my performance. That's single loop. Okay. So let's role play, okay, my friend. We come here and role play. Now, okay. Now, what? A couple of years ago, I was about to preach a sermon on forgiveness. The Bible says that you're not qualified to preach on forgiveness until you like get settled with your friends who are married with you, whatever. So on campus, I have some, you can tell I'm a very spontaneous person, okay, very intense person. So I got running in with some administrators, okay, Marvin can witness that, right? I challenge them, I fight them, okay, to protect my program, okay. So I offend a few people. So I decided to go around to apologize, okay, one by one. It's amazing what I learned, okay. No one apologized back to me, okay. They're the one who try to dismantle my program, try to cause harm to my program. I'm fighting them, So they never apologize. But here, one particular case, the person's name is also Ken, okay. So Ken, how you this is very interesting, okay. So I say, Ken, I'm really sorry that in the past, I have said some harsh things about you and caused you upset. I'm really sorry for all that. I hope you forgive me. Your sincerity, okay? You can. So what will you say?
Well, I could have reacted better, and it caught me off guard, and I think I said some wrong things too. So it's forgiveness is a two-way street.
Oh, thank you. But this Ken Hart is a better person than other Ken. Okay? But he knows that forgiveness is two-way street. But all the administrators think that forgiveness is one-way street. Only us, professors, apologize to the administrators. They never apologize back. Okay. Now, here's interesting. This can say, well, I don't remember that we have been running. I no problem. I don't have any problem. Don't need to apologize. Okay. That's what you say. So I say apology to you. You tell me that, oh, don't apologize. There's nothing between us. I don't remember anything, okay? So in my mind, I say, that's what I'm thinking. What is he trying to say? Is he trying to show that he's superior? Or is he trying to get away from apologizing by pretending that had happened? So I'm trying to thinking what he's actually saying inside him, what he told me. Okay? So at the same time, you will figure out, how is Paul Wong, always, so self-righteous and so self-righteous and so arrogant, what's up to, come down, with humble himself, apologize, So he doesn't really believe, that I'm really sincere because God convict me, right? So he doesn't believe that. So when we do conversation, there's an inner dialogue, there's deeper, okay? There's a deeper dialogue going on. So in a double loop, which is invented by a Harvard business professor, whether conflict between employer and employee or between husband and wife. So what you do is that I write down what I'm thinking when I say that, okay? This is you. I'll write down what I think you think when you answer me. You are also write down what you are thinking when you say that to me. Say, oh, there's nothing between us. But you also write down what you think that I'm thinking when I apologize to you. See, double loop, right? And then compare notes. Okay, thank you. Compare notes. Now, why do we need double loop learning? Because he's saying that in interpersonal relationships, in terms of self-understanding, in terms of understanding ourselves and understanding other people, we do need double loop. Now, Mr. Ken Hart, Mr. Ken Hart can consult you. In which step you talk about the which step people say ask those questions about the self-exam, what am I thinking when I say that? The same thing, the double loop, right? Step 4, right? What am I thinking? Why should I do that? Why did he do that? So now if you were able to do that with yourself, in fact, I propose you ask yourself at least three why questions for everything bad happened to you. Just you can go nowhere, right? Just ask yourself 3 why questions. Why did it happen? You explain. And then go one step further. Why do I give you explanation? And then one step further. By reflecting on what you see, you gain a better understanding of the dynamic within you and the dynamic between you. Okay? So double loop learning is important for administrators like Akbar, and important for therapists, and in turn, it's also important for recovering addicts, right? You will tell your sponsor, say, "Oh, I've been clean, I've been sober for 2 weeks," So, the sponsor says, "Well, why did you tell me that? You're hiding something?" I mean, there's always the spoken, what's being said and then it's what's really said and then inside your head. What's being said and then, behaviorally, what's really said and then inside you. So the double loop is help us to get beyond the surface, to understand the deeper meaning of what is being communicated, the deeper meaning of what's happening. This understanding, this deeper meaning will make you wiser. And the other emphasis about meaning-centered approach, double vision, I always tell people, I say, like you always need to be, not like me, I'm just, when I get old, you're just bifocal. It's a bit different from bifocal, okay, double vision. Double vision is one eye on the road, one eye like this, cross-eyed, okay? One eye see the immediate situation, another eye look into some destination. If you drive, if you only look at the road, you might be going in circles, right? You need to keep one eye on the road, one eye on where you're going. Now, if you play hockey, you need to one eye on the puck, one eye on the goal, so you know how to pass the puck or how to carry the puck to go. So if you don't have focus on the immediate situation, you never life goal, you never score. Now, here's the argument I have with recovering addicts. Okay, here's my argument. Okay, they will say, "Oh, easy for you to say, Professor Wong, you're a professor, right? Easy for you to talk about long-range goal. For us, recovering addicts, we live one day at a time. All we want to do is to get through the day. We don't want to look that far. We don't want to think about, 5 years down the road or 2 years down the road. We just want to struggle to get by, get through the day, get through the night." I say, "My friend, it's hard for you to get through the day, right? Do you know why it's hard? Because you only keep your eye on today. You want to get through the day easier, You need to have a larger vision about life. You will constantly struggle to get through the day if you do not have a larger perspective. That you're not fighting alone, that you're not struggling alone. There's somebody watching over you. There are people helping you. You need to develop a larger vision. If you don't, you'll be struggling there, fighting for the puck. For what? Fighting for the puck, but you know where to pass on to. You keep the puck for 2 minutes, other people take away. You spend all the energy fighting for the puck, but it goes nowhere. So here we are, see? As my friend, you're struggling, I know. But why you make your struggle easier? The Chinese saying, there's a lot of wise saying from China, okay? Some people got lock horn, okay? Fight. They don't see no way out, to get this, and they're saying that you step one word backward, the ocean open up and the sky open up. Because you're so absorbed in fighting the battle with the problem, how to get through the day. All you do is step wide and look up. When you look up, your vision, your perspective changes. The problem no longer loom, no longer so that before the problem was all engulfing you, it's surrounding you, it's consuming you, it's eating you up, it's destroying you. But now you're looking up, the problem shrinks, right? The problem becomes more manageable. Life becomes more manageable. You need to develop a lot of vision. What is God? You need to have a transcendental reality.